Yes, welcome for our Oracle Fusion HCM training sessions. So in this session, we are going to talk about very important point. Most of the clients' interactions also, they'll be asking us, and the interviews also, they will be asking us, what is person number and what is worker number and what is difference between these two and where do we configure different types of methods we have to generate the person numbers and all. In our previous sessions, we have discussed enterprise structure. Here, name of the enterprise, within that divisions, legal employers, legislative data group, ledger, business units, is all we have done, right? And at what level we will hire an employee. Whenever we are hiring an employee, we'll be hiring at legal entity level. It means at legal employer. When you are hiring an employee, system, it won't ask you the name of the enterprise or name of the division. It will ask you directly the legal employer, name of the legal employer, not even legal entity also. Because legal entity, we cannot hire employee. Legal entity, we cannot hire employee. Only legal employer, we can hire an employee. That's why the moment when we go for hire employee page, then we can find legal employer name, business unit, department, job, position, grade. This all work structure comes into the picture. See, it won't ask you the enterprise name or division name. Enterprise name, why it won't ask us? Because there will be only one enterprise. We cannot create multiple enterprises. It's not possible. There will be only one enterprise. So obviously, when you are hiring an employee, all the employees comes under the same enterprise. There is no chance that we'll be getting multiple. Okay. So within that division, as we discussed, it's optional, not mandatory. At this point of time, Oracle has not provided any much functionality about the divisions in this environment, right? So what we are trying to do is we are hiring an employee at what level? At a legal entity level. It means indirectly legal employer level, legal employer level. Okay. So when we are hiring an employee, see here we can find person number. Person number. Person number is mandatory. When you are hiring an employee, person number is mandatory. Worker number is optional. It's up to the client whether they wanted to maintain the worker number or not. So person number is mandatory. That's the first point. That's the first point. When you are hiring an employee in Fusion application, you can maintain two numbers for your employee. One is person number, another one is worker number. Person number is mandatory, worker number is optional. Person number is generated at enterprise level. It means, let's say you hired an employee, your person number is 144. That's the person number that will be fixed. Even you transfer employee from one legal employer to another legal employer, or you terminate an employee and again rehire employee, you do any activities, person number will never change. It will be as it is. Okay. If some client says that we don't want worker numbers, but some client says that we want to go with worker numbers, it's up to the client's requirement. We will be configuring here. Okay. So now we'll see first person number configuration. Where do we configure this person number? Automatic or manual? Right now, if we look at the person number generated automatically, where do we configure that? That we are going for enterprise HCM. Manage enterprise HCM is the task name. This is the task where we are going to configure enterprise level setups. Let me go to this option here. Go to setup and maintenance. Go to the task here. Manage enterprise HCM. As we discussed, there will be only one enterprise. We don't find multiple. That's why it won't ask you the scope. Directly open the task. Because there will be only one enterprise, directly that enterprise will be opened here. Now, this is the name of the enterprise. And then here we can find person number, generation method, automatic upon final save, and initial person number, nothing but starting number, and person creation duplicate check. When you are hiring an employee, the system is supposed to check the duplication of the person details. For example, person date of birth or last name, first name, national ID. What are the columns? System is supposed to check for verification. So what are the difference values is supposed to go for checking that here. So, and then we will find the initial value. Now we are talking about the different methods which we have when we are working with the person numbers. Okay. So there are three methods mainly when we are working with person number. Manual means we can specify the person number manually by entering the value here. Automatic upon final save, automatic prior to submission. Automatic prior to submission. Total three different types of methods we have to generate person number. Here it is. So here we can find values are not there, no problem. Now we'll see the different types of methods here. As we discussed, the three options: manual, automatic prior to submission, automatic upon final save. Manual method we can use to enter the person number manually whenever we are hiring employee. You can update person numbers in the manage persons page. Automatic prior submission is automatically create person number automatically created and display the person numbers. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When creating the person record, for example, when you are hiring an employee here, we have different methods, right? Let me take this another window. Now we can find here identification, person information, employment, compensation. Finally, we are going for review, right? So prior to submission, the system will generate the person number and we can view that also. The person number we can view also. That's another method which we have. Automatically, system should generate the person number, but it should display prior to submit for execution. So that's what the number we can find. So automatic prior to submission method may create a gaps in the person number sequence. For example, you started hiring an employee, and the moment when you start hiring an employee, it generate number. It will generate number. Finally, let's say that particular transaction is not approved or cancelled. What happened? Obviously, that number is going to be wasted. It's not going to be utilized. So that number will be a gap, right? That number will be a gap. There will be a gap with that number. so we don't find it, right? So if the transaction is cancelled after the person number is generated, then what happened? That number will be a gap as it is over here. It is as it is over here. That is prior to submission. Automatic upon final save. Automatic upon final save. The automatic upon final save method create person numbers only after the add transaction is approved. Till that time, the number will not be approved and you cannot see the person number at the time of hiring also. After the transaction is completed, after the approval transaction is completed, then only we will be able to find this particular number. So that time there won't be any gaps. We don't find any gaps because after approval only the number will be generated. Okay. When we can find that person number, you can view the person number on the manage person page after the transaction is approved. Means after we hire an employee, how we can go for search an employee? We'll go to navigator and then we will find here person management. Here we are going to search with person name. Obviously we'll find a person number. Person number we'll find over here it is. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is for this enterprise, I'm going to specify person number generation method automatic upon final save. Automatic upon final save. Yeah, prior to submission or final save. I'm selecting the final save option. So if you select final save option, what happened? Once the hiring transaction is approved and completed, then only you can view the person number. Let's see. This is whatever you are doing the setups at enterprise level, it's applicable for all the legal entities. This is applicable for all the legal entities. All the legal entities, it is applicable. Now we'll go for hire employee. Hire employee here. So we can choose the, I'm selecting US1 or we can go for US12. Any legal employer. The person number automatically generated. But upon final save, means after transaction is approved. So still I could not find this particular person number. See, person number, still it is showing generated automatically. I am not able to see the number. Now we don't know the person number actually. If it is approved transaction, then only the person number will be generated. We need to search with the person name. Now I could see that here. This is what employee we have hired, and this is the employee number. Right. Person number. Person number got generated here. This is how it will work when we are working in the person number. Person number we are going to get after upon final shift because we said that. For example, if we mention person number prior to submission, I'm selecting prior to submission here. Now we'll see the employee hiring process. Now here it's generated automatically, but we can find prior to sale, means before we go for approval itself, the number will be generated. This number will be generated. Let me show you. The system will have a sequence, internally database sequence will be there. Whatever number was there, this continuation number will be continued. See, you are going to get an option here. Let me cross check which option we have selected. Automatic prior to submission. That's fine. Let me refresh the page here. Generally, it should come here. It's showing generated automatically, but the number should come here. Prior to submission, we will be getting. Let me go with filling the details. Okay, still I have not submitted. I'm just saving. But it should come here. The number should populate. Or let me check at what is this? Automatic prior to submission from today. Yeah, this is about worker number. It's fine. I don't know why the number is not generated. Should come actually. It should come here. Prior to submission. It's not coming in. Let me just check it. maybe still it is not updated. It may take some time, but that's what actually the person number and different methods which we have automatic prior to submission. But generally the selection option is here automatic upon final say. That's the option which we will be using generally for our employee hiring process. Initial person number, already we discussed what's the starting number you want. Sometimes when we are hiring an employee, you will get some error message like this, person EO number is already exist. Person number is already exist. Excuse me. The person DO details already exist type of error you will be getting. That time you are supposed to cross check from manage enterprise HCM information. Person number means we have to go for here only manage enterprise HCM. Worker number we'll be discussing in our next session. What is worker number, how it can be generated for different options. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.